Namaskar friends, myself Deepak Kumar Rath. I welcome you to the digital media of Uday India. Today in India Things, I want to speak about the potential for vibrant tourism development in India's Lakshadweep Islands that has sparked conversation beyond idyllic beaches and turquoise waters. Some speculate that Prime Minister Modi's focus on Lakshadweep could be perceived as a strategic move against the Maldives, a nation with close ties to China. However, framing this development through a zero-sum geopolitical lens risks overshadowing the immense opportunities our Indian waters and also overlooks the complexities of international relations. This past weekend, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's tweets on Twitter and X, which promoted travel to the Lakshadweep Islands, ignited a social media feud between Maldivian politicians, government officials, and Indian users. The Prime Minister talked about the stunning beauty of its island in a post that mentioned this visit to Union Territory earlier this week. Following Prime Minister Modi's post, a number of well-known Maldivian social media users and government figures replied with insulting, xenophobic, racist and demeaning remarks directed at both the Prime Minister of India and all Indians in general. This was done in a very bad taste and was quickly met with severe backlash from Indians. Many movie stars, Bharat Ratna Sachin Tendulkar, appealed to the people to avoid Maldives and instead visit Lakshadweep and other Indian islands. The Maldivian government, however, suspended the government officials making derogatory remarks following the massive backlash. In fact, Maldivian President Muiju had to issue apology to Indians on behalf of his ministers. Despite that, massive 10,500 hotel bookings, 5,520 flight tickets to Maldives have been cancelled so far by Indians after Maldivian minister made abusive statements against PM Modi, Bharat and Hindus. Ease My Trip co-founder has announced that his company will not any flight to Maldives. However, questions remains. Why Maldives of all states has turned against India in last few years? In the Maldives, anti-Indian sentiment is nothing new. The India Out movement began as street demonstrators in the Maldives at some point in 2020, and this subsequently used the term together with a relevant hashtag to go viral on social media. It had gone into visible and aggressive political campaign by the second half of 2021, driven by opponents of administration of Maldivian President Ibrahim Muhammad Solih, who in office from 2018 to 2023. Abdullah Amin Abdul Gayoom, the former president, had also publicly supported and encouraged the India Out movement. Although the campaign's backers stated that it was launched to express disapproval of what they saw to be military presence of India in the nation, they had deliberately targeted every facet of the bilateral relationship between India and Maldives. Now think of this, in 2018, India gave $1.4 billion aid to Maldives over its China debt. In 2020, India provided $250 million worth financial assistance to Maldives. And in 2020, India provided $20 crores to Maldives over its debt of China. Maldives Maitri Bridge in 22. India extended $100 million assistance to Maldives to tide over crisis. In 2023, India gave $40 million to Maldives to make infrastructure in sports. In just last 5 years, India donated billions of dollars to Maldives with a total GDP of $6 billion, and they still have the audacity to abuse us. Friends, another angle is also there. State religion of Maldives is Islam and doctrine is Sharia. Only Sunni Muslims are allowed to hold citizenship in the country, and citizens may practice only in Islam. Non-Muslim citizens of other nations can only practice their faith in private. Maldives is quickly becoming a hub of radicalism, as evidenced by having had the highest per capita income of foreign fighters for ISIS among the nation. A few months ago, the US designated 20 Maldivians as facilitators and operatives of ISIS and Al Qaeda, alongside 29 associated companies, many of which operated in the tourism industry as proxies. They are planning to attacks targeting journalists and local authorities. So why? Why would anyone in their right mind consider visiting such a country for tourism? Most likely the money spent by you there will be used in some way for crimes against humanity. Lakshadweep, a string of coral atolls nestled in the Indian Ocean, boasts pristine natural beauty and rich cultural tapestry. For decades, its tourism potential remained largely untapped with visitor restrictions and limited infrastructure. However, recent initiatives by Indian government, including Prime Minister Modi's emphasis on sustainable tourism development, have ignited a flame of hope for the Iceland's changed economic prospects. The potential benefits of flourishing tourism in Lakshadweep are manifold. Increased tourist influx would generate employment opportunities for local communities, boost infrastructure development, and contribute to the overall economic growth of the islands. Furthermore, responsible tourism practices can foster environmental protection and cultural preservation, ensuring that the island charm endures for generations to come. So, visit Indian islands and not such places where are against India thinkings are on. And I must here thanks to the administrator of Lakshadweep, Sri Papul Bhai Patel, who has started enormous growth and development, infrastructure development, connectivity, air connectivity, and facilitating people for all sorts of development like education, roads, everything. If you will compare in last 5 years and last 50 years, one must really thank to Praful Patel for initiating such development works under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Stay tuned with Uday India and subscribe to Uday India. Bharat Mata Ki Jai.